Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me for another session of the African Father in America podcast. I am in Seattle, Washington, and I am from Kisumu, Kenya, originally. And I am live streaming on YouTube, and we are also on Clubhouse, I think Crystal is here. I just want to set the room here real quick. I'm just adding the room topics and things like that. But today we are taking a virtual journey actually to Cameroon. We are discussing an amazing Cameroonian proverb here that I'll share in just a moment. Nice to see you, Kikuyu. Nice to see you, Debbie. Feel free to join me on stage and ping in a few people to join us into this excellent conversation. I'm going to share the link to the YouTube live stream in just a moment, but I want to share the proverb so that we can all begin thinking about it. It says that no matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. And, I came up with a few takeaway points here that I want to share in a moment. But I just want to open the floor, just to hear your voices a little bit for us to warm up this room. So, Kikuyu, go ahead and just say hi, introduce yourself, and then we'll go to Debbie, and then we'll begin our conversation after that.
Hey, Simon. It's nice hearing your voice. Nice being back here. I've really missed the daily Proverbs and listening to everyone's takes. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. Yes, I think that's it for me for now.
Good morning. I am Debbie Berlin. Thank you, Simon, for this space. Thank you, everyone who is joining us today. I am so excited.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Debbie, for being here. It's definitely a privilege. So, again to Nguyen and Kujo, welcome to the Daily African Proverbs. We do this from Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we've been, pushing this Daily African Proverbs initiative from 2021 January. And, we've been really lucky that there's a community of people that support this. If you look at the club, we are almost at 5,000 members. But just the community outside of Clubhouse, for me, it's when someone in the community tells you that, those proverbs that you post on Instagram, I really appreciate them, I didn't go into depth with this individual that was giving me feedback during, a Zoom meeting for a totally different thing. But I just appreciated it. I was like, okay, this work is actually, serving people. That's, for me, that's the essence of this work. So if you're here to help with, transforming our community, preserving African proverbs, and also having a meaningful conversation in the morning. I literally woke up. You guys are the first people I'm talking to, I haven't even talked to my family or anything like that. The first thing I normally do is to dissect these proverbs. This is like my way of, being mindful and, also being grateful for our ancestors, for the words that they left us, the work that they left us. So today, the proverb is, no matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. And this is a popular saying. This is, a proverb that we hear it a lot. At least I hear it a lot in many different ways. But I want to share a couple of thoughts that I want you to take away with you before we go deeper into our conversation today. But this proverb reminds me so much about people like Elon Musk, and people that they know the danger that the world is currently in. They know that we're in a climate crisis, but instead of investing their resources, their mighty resources, in solving the problems here on Earth, they are quickly looking for solutions elsewhere. And that's what this proverb is saying, that no matter where you try to go, the earth is actually where you are. This is the ground. This is what has to act as our base as humanity. So these are the 4 takeaways that we gathered with my team today for this session. And I just want you to note them down if you want, or just have them somewhere in your mind while you think about your own interpretation of this proverb. Again, the proverb says, no matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. Number 1 is, proverbs are powerful. Proverbs are a powerful way to communicate ideas and values. This is if you go with this specific proverb and how proverbs are in general. Many times we acquire formal education so that we can get jobs, so that we can become accepted members of the society. But then we realize later on in life that things like African proverbs, African culture, African food, things that we might have been running away from, because we are fast, because we are acquiring, new knowledge and knowledge that makes us look cool, look relevant, and look as if we are living in the current times. We find that at the end of the day, what really completes us as human beings is our culture, who we are, and our proverbs. And then the second thing is, when you look at these proverbs, the African proverbs that we share here, many of them have been passed on from generations to generations. For us now, through this platform, we are able to have a conversation, record it. Hopefully our children listen to it. They overhear us talking about it now. They might watch the content that we are creating as a result of this conversation. But at the end of the day, something is going to be passed on down from us to them. Just like majority of these conversations we're having because of these proverbs are because some people used these words before us, So just the value of passing on these proverbs as an example, or a different kind of knowledge from one generation to the other. The third thing is, proverbs can be used to teach, motivate, and inspire people. And some proverbs are funny while others are more serious. So, again, with the current proverb, it's allowing me to just look at proverbs in general. But if you look at this proverb particularly, you can break it down. You can use it to teach someone, or to motivate, or to inspire people. No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. This proverb is to caution somebody, to caution somebody, or to caution yourself that you might be moving too fast at one given time, and you probably need to slow down, or you're probably moving a little slow and you need to move faster, or it could just be inspiring you to observe the world in a certain way, and choose how you want your world to be, and then number 3, proverbs can be applied to everyday life situations, and it's important to know the origin of a proverb before using it. So again, no matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. When you look at the origins of these proverbs, the number of people that have used them in the past, even though we are discussing it today through technology and in our minds, and also in the narrative that the media has created, those who are in Africa who are using this proverb, who don't even know that we are discussing it, probably, we think that we are in a better place than them. We think that the currency of the country where we live is better than the currency of the country that others who use this proverb is. So because of those comparisons, we might want to run away from the origin of things like this proverb or other things, but we are stuck with it. We are stuck with it no matter where we go, even if it's, for example, as an African, it doesn't matter whether you left Africa because of slavery or because of colonization or because of brain drain or because of a job opportunity. You still left the continent, and that identity sticks with you no matter where you go. You can't run away from it. Similar to this proverb. So, I wanted to just share those initial 4 thoughts to get us started on the conversation. And I want to welcome everyone who is just joining us for the first time. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, the link is at the top of the room. You can join me there and leave your comments as well. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, Kikuyu. What does this proverb mean to you? And again, I know you shared where you are joining us from earlier, but we have new people in the room. So just go ahead and introduce yourself briefly, where you are, and what this proverb means to you. Thank you so much.
Hi, yes, I'm Crystal. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. No matter how fast a man is, he can't outrun his shadow. For me, that means our dark sides, our shortcomings, the things that may cause us a little bit of discomfort to sit in about when it comes to accountability. I think that it's nice to think of ourselves as the protagonist in our stories, the victim, but what can you own in a situation? And that shadow work. A lot of times we spiritually bypass things, events in our lives, because it gets uncomfortable to feel things. But allowing ourselves to move through our emotions and taking accountability where it's applicable so that we can grow and evolve. I love my shadow. I embrace those things about me that I'm still working on. And I think that's a true testament to integrity, not like the fake toxic positivity type of stuff. So yeah, I like what this brought up for me. And I appreciate the space. Thank you, Simon. I'm done speaking.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Crystal. I just love how you say that you love your shadows, and every one of us in this room and in the world, I don't know who has no shadows, but embracing it and working on it is very good. And, I just appreciate that. And this proverb reminds me about it too. Just the way you put it, opens so many ways of thinking about this proverb. Let's hear from Debbie. Debbie, how are you doing today? And what are your thoughts about this proverb? No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. Today's proverb is from Cameroon. So if you're joining us on YouTube, I have a really nice picture of the streets of Cameroon, and this is just recently during the Africa Cup of Nations that was held in Cameroon. I have a picture of soccer fans heading to the games, and you should check it out on YouTube. But then they have the flag of Cameroon, and one of my favorite soccer players, Roger Miller, hails from Cameroon. And I started understanding soccer at a young age during the time that Roger Miller was one of the greatest soccer players in the world. So check out that picture. But now we want to come to you, Debbie.
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak, and I'm grateful to be in the community this morning. My name is Debbie Berlin. I live in Maryland, right near Washington, D.C. And regarding this proverb, I also agree with the former speaker that we need not necessarily try to outrun our shadow. And I would like to expound. So we are physical, mental, and spiritual beings. Physically, shadow is the blocking of light. When we shine light on a shadow, it disappears. Mentally, shadows are parts of our subconscious that we are not aware of. Spiritually, shadows are part of ourselves and life experiences that we shame, deny, and or outcast. Let us therefore use the light of love in the form of understanding, empathy, and compassion to bring light to darkness in our bodies, mind, and spirit, and let it extend to our world. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much, Debbie. I just love your perspectives as well. Thank you for joining us today again. For those who are joining us on YouTube, thanks again. I just appreciate your support. And I want to welcome Happy, Lavender, Jerry, Rushi, Stella to the stage. And I just want to invite everyone who is in the room, please ping in 3 to 5 people that are in your own Clubhouse network to join us for today's conversation here in the African Father in America Club. I see that we have Chief Gloria here in the audience as well. Welcome, Chief Gloria. And we are talking about an amazing Cameroonian proverb. No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. We are getting incredible perspectives and we are learning a lot. So if you want to learn or if you want to contribute to this conversation, join us on the stage and continue sharing this on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also you can share it here on Clubhouse and, leave a comment with that share and clip it, and share it on Twitter and we will retweet as well. Hey, Coco, nice to see you. Now we want to come to you, Lavender. If you have a moment, share with us what this proverb means to you. No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. And also, where you are and any other thoughts that you have so far.
Thank you, Simon. Hi, everyone. I'm Lavender. I'm speaking from Nairobi, Kenya. And thanks again, Simon, for the opportunity to share my perspective in regards to today's proverb. No matter how fast a man is, he can't outrun his shadow. I really liked Debbie's perspective. I think before Debbie spoke, we had Crystal. That stood out as well, but I resonate with this proverb in that however much somebody tries to hide the kind of person they are, it's deemed to come out. Your true self will always come out. It might take time, but it will always show up. I'm Lavender and I'm done speaking. Thank you again, Simon.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. This proverb has multiple meanings and it's just beautiful how, whenever we all gather here, we get fresh perspectives and we definitely live with something fresh that we've learned. If you're joining us for the first time, please remember to follow the African Father in America Club. The green badge or the green house at the top of the Clubhouse room, if you're on Clubhouse, is where you can do that. And also nominate 3 to 5 people from your community to join the club as well. If you love YouTube, I am live streaming on YouTube as we speak, and you can join me there as well through the link at the top of the room. Our proverb today is from Cameroon, and it says that no matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. We've heard from Kikuyu and Debbie and Lavender, and Happy seems to be on the phone. So I'm going to move on to Jerry. Jerry, how are you? Where are you joining us from? And what does this proverb from Cameroon mean to you? Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Jerry. I am from China, Guangzhou City, but my English is not good, so I barely understand your words. So I cannot express my feeling for this topic. Yeah.
No, it's good. You've communicated. No, it's fine. Thank you for being here. Yeah, thank you for being here, and thank you for your honesty. You can continue listening, and hopefully you get something, you learn something. Is there anybody on the stage who speaks Mandarin or anything that you can understand? Do you think Roger can share with you what's happening here so that at least you understand? I think Roger speaks a language that you might understand better. So let's see if he can let you know at least so that you are aware of what we are talking about. Roger, can you help us here?
Sure. Jerry 这个成语呢是说，无论一个人跑得多快，不会超过他的影子，不会他的影子总是会跟上去。对，意思就是这个。
对，我知道这个意思。那我都不知道怎么表达一些关于这个意思的内容啊。我觉得这很难表达，对我来说。
Okay, Simon. I just explained the phrase to him. I've just translated it, but he is having difficulty expressing his thoughts on it. ，Jerry 啊，如果你有什么想说的话，你可以说给我听，我帮你翻译。
其实倒不是翻译的问题，而是这句话，主要是我表达不了什么见解的东西，然后刚才听也没太听得懂大家说的内容，其实倒不是直接翻译的问题，对啊。
好。Okay, so culturally, he's having a little bit of difficulty grasping the intricacies of this proverb. So, and he hasn't read the room for very long, so he won't be able to contribute for the time being.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you guys can go ahead. Maybe I can, learn something continuously.
Yes, that's fine.
Learn from your ideas.
Yes. No problem. Just stay and listen and learn. I will thank you again, Roger, for helping us communicate, a little better with Jerry. Now I want to move on to you, Rushi. How are you doing, my brother? And what does this proverb mean to you? No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. This is a Cameroonian proverb, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. This is a great proverb for me. No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. First off, I want to say I am in Seattle, just like Simon, but I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm originally from the southeast of the United States. But the thing about this proverb to me, what rang out to me was another proverb. I think it's an Ethiopian proverb, which says something along the lines of, when a wound heals, a scar remains. It's something along those lines. And the reason why that proverb kind of resonates with this proverb to me is because when I think of my shadow, especially from the last 12 months or so. It's been pretty rough. I made a lot of choices that haven't been proud of, or a lot of things I second guess myself on. And sometimes when you have a shadow that maybe encompasses a lot of decisions where you felt you should have went right, where you went left, or you should have kept on walking straight where you stopped. A lot of times I question those decisions I made. A lot of those decisions, they kind of stick in your shadow, because sometimes your shadow could be a dark place when you look at it. It would be nice to see a shadow right about now in Seattle where it's raining all day, but there's no sun, but that's another story. But for me, this proverb, it really resonates in the essence of you cannot outrun your shadow. You have to stand up and shine light on, just like how Debbie was saying, which I totally agree with. I believe that was Debbie who said that. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, but that's how I feel about this proverb. It's a great proverb. It's a proverb that definitely is a therapeutic proverb for me. When I think about the meaning, and I think about my past, my present, and staying present in my present, it's a very great proverb to think about on a daily basis. So thank you for the time, Simon. I appreciate everything that you're doing and have also helped me do in my life. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
You're most welcome, and thank you again for being here. And I appreciate how you approached this proverb, especially when when you're just using this to also respond to some of the decisions that you've made, and to take these proverbs and reflect with it on your own life like that is very powerful. And I think that's one way that we can use these proverbs, and that's beautiful. Stella, how are you doing? It's wonderful to see you. Share with us where you're joining us from, and also what today's proverb means to you. No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. And this is a Cameroonian proverb. Thanks again for all the work that you're doing to support this incredible conversation that we are having right now. Stella must be away from her phone. There you are. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Nice.
Hello, everyone. This is Stella from Kenya, and I'm happy to be here. And today's proverb, it says, no matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. I read somewhere yesterday about someone had posted something on social media saying, we should know that we are alone in this world, because even at night, even your shadow runs away from you. So when I saw this proverb today about people can't outrun their shadows, it was a little bit funny for me. But anyway, the proverb is true. There are things you can't run away from. You just have to face them, deal with them before you have to move on with your life. So yeah, that's what I understand from the proverb today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Stella. I appreciate that. I love what you said, though. We should know that we are always alone, because at night even your own shadow runs away from you. That's great. That's so great. I want to welcome everyone who is just joining us for the first time. I want to invite you to ping in 3 to 5 people and take a moment to share share the room across Clubhouse and and onto other platforms. Let's continue building the number of people in the village at the moment, and let's go to Thandi Sizwe, haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Share with us where you're joining us from, and also share with us what this proverb from Cameroon means to you. The proverb says that no matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. Grand Rising, everyone. It is wonderful. It feels really good to be here in this space right now. This was a huge part of a healing journey for me after I went through something traumatic, and I couldn't come. The time conflicted with culinary school, so I had to take a little break, but I'm here and it feels good to be here. No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. You know, sometimes with these African proverbs, something pops in my head immediately, and sometimes I have to think about it more. This one I have to think about more, and as I just got on this car recently, I haven't had too much time, but something that did come to mind is atonement. I think about, whether it's personal, business, political, the government, we often remember the bad shadow, if you will, the negative shadow, right? I think that there's different shadows that can follow us, and sometimes that shadow is negative, and we oftentimes remember that negative shadow when someone has done something wrong and they do not take the proper steps to atone, right? So atonement, to atone, to apologize, to fix the situation. I think about even just American history, right? Or the American government, or we think about apartheid in South Africa. You know, even now they're saying, hey, we don't want to teach critical race theory in the schools, even though, it's important for people to know, our young people to know the past as we move towards the future. They don't want to teach it because they never did the right thing, right? They messed up. They treated they treated situations and people very, very poorly. And then Black people, not only did we never get our 40 acres and a mule when it comes to enslavement, Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, not for us, right? He always kind of did wrong by choice and right by necessity, if you will. But then there was never ever a sincere apology, right? And then, you fast forward to where I am, Minneapolis, Minnesota. We have George Floyd, we have Amir Locke, right? We have Terrence Franklin, we have Jamar Clark, and this is happening all around the country. So then it's still going on. So I just think about this shadow, right? This American shadow, this American nightmare, right? It's this negative, bad shadow, and I think a part of the reason why America and the people in power, why they even try to run faster to outrun the shadow is because it's still looming over all of us, and they never have done the right thing. They never have atoned. They never have apologized, and until you do that, you'll always be in a position where you're trying to run from it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's something powerful you just said, and until you accept what you did and cleanse yourself, atone yourself, it will always follow you. It will never leave you, and this is why African culture and ways of being and ways of healing are still relevant today. If you go to many communities, for example, the Luo community that I come from, there are certain things that if they happen, you have to be put through some rituals, And for a long time, I used to be scared of those things, But I have to tell you, if you invite me for a ritualistic, endeavor, I'll come, because if you don't, if you're told something that you need to do something, and you ignore it, it's on you, and I feel that, like you're saying, the leadership in the US historically have always been told about reparations, and they're not just being told by they're not being told by the Chinese, they're being told by the children of the people that they wronged, and that's words are powerful. Even in your own households, if you say bad things to your children or even to yourself, they can kill you. And so this is a community of people, reminding a portion of their society that, hey, you did me wrong here, you need to do something about it. Those words live on, and that's what this proverb is also saying. No matter how fast a man is, he can't outrun his shadow. So over time, you have to deal with it, no matter what you do. And that's a quagmire that the US is in as a society. And I appreciate you for sharing that. Now, Roger, you haven't joined us on stage for a while. Your support is deeply appreciated, especially today when you intervened for us to help us communicate with Jerry. I would love to hear your perspectives on this proverb. No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. Share with us your thoughts, please, and share with us where you're joining us from.
Hi, thank you, Simon. I am a software developer from the tiny island of Singapore in Southeast Asia. And what I thought about this proverb may not be exactly what was shared earlier, but as a software developer, the first thing I thought about was social media. So, on Clubhouse, people can get a little boastful. They can talk themselves out. I've lost count of the number of high-value people, experts, and specialists I've met on here. And statistically, I know that it's not possible for everyone to be a specialist or expert. So I think people can make themselves look really good, do their Photoshop on their profile pictures or whatever. But at the end of the day, you log off back in the cold light of day, you may have to deal with the fact that you're a schmuck just like everyone else. I'm done running and I'm done speaking.
Yeah, I love that. Just be yourself. Be yourself, no matter where you are, whether it's on Clubhouse, whether it's you're alone. Just be yourself. It makes life very much rich and more real. You smell the flowers better when you're honest to yourself. Hey Kay, how are you doing today? How have you been? Share with us your perspectives as well, and also where you're joining us from.
Hi, Simon. Hello, everyone. I'm in Atlanta, and I was glad to hear someone mention that there were good shadows and bad shadows, because the proverb makes us think about maybe the negative ones, because it's talking about running away from them. What I don't know if this proverb made me think of it, or I've just been thinking about it. We had a school here in the States where a gunman came in and killed, I think, 14 children and 2 teachers. Now, and I might have this incorrect. I think the discussion was about tearing down the school because what didn't want to go in there. This has been going on in the States, so I might have the location wrong or the school wrong. But it was a school. And so I thought about that, and I was wondering if that shadow that this person has put on the school is not given more power than it deserves if because of it you destroy the school. Because indeed there were other shadows, good, happy shadows. People have graduated from the school. There's been school dances. There's been school parties. There's been people falling in love. There's been many, many wonderful shadows in that school that will also be in that destruction. And so I just thought, rather than trying to run away from this horrific thing that happened, that has cast a shadow, that indeed we might want to refurbish the school. I mean, if the school is structurally sound and there's no other reason that it needs to be destroyed, because that space will always be there, that maybe we could celebrate the wonderful things that have happened in that space and maybe indeed renovate it or make it even more special. Or maybe, I don't know, school might need a gym or whatever, but somehow to not try to run away from shadows, because that happening is never going to go away. And even the new school that will be built because of that. And I don't think you want to make your foundation for doing anything a negative thing that has happened or experienced. So that's that's what I thought about with this. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Kay. Yeah, you can't, in my culture, I remember there's a time as a teenager, we were playing hide and seek, and as we were playing hide and seek, I grew up in the ghetto, in the slum, in Manyata, one of the roughest neighborhoods in Kenya, actually. So as we were playing hide and seek, we were looking through the windows of some of the houses. In the ghetto, there are houses that are also abandoned. So as we were looking through the windows, we were looking for our friends that are hiding from us. One of us saw a body that had committed suicide, somebody, hanging in their house. So the first kid that saw it, all of us were, this friend of ours called all of us after what he saw, and we didn't know what to do. So we had to raise the alarm in the neighborhood, and there was a cleansing ceremony that was done to the very first kid that saw it, and then to all of us. So it's something that I can never forget. But it's similar to the situation at the school that you're describing. When such a thing happens in a community, something has to be done. And it could be what you're saying. It could be renovation. It could be something. But something has to be done. Otherwise, the shadow of that person and that event stays with the community. Anyhow, welcome everyone. This is the African Father in America podcast. We are live streaming on YouTube. We are also live here with you on Clubhouse in the African Father in America Club. Remember to follow the club. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Those are some of the ways that you can support, today. I am also tweeting this conversation. I have a thread, earlier on, we posted this proverb on Twitter, and there's a thread with some of the nuggets that I'm getting from you also. Go ahead and retweet the tweets on that thread. And if you're not following me on Twitter already, follow me, and let's build up over there. I would love to begin doing the Daily African Proverbs on Twitter Spaces sometime. So next week we are going to test it a couple of times. So stay tuned. If you don't see us here for 1 or 2 days next week, just know that we will be on Twitter Spaces, but still live on YouTube. So it's really important for you to grab the YouTube channel, subscribe, and also press the notification button on YouTube specifically, so that when we go live, you can be notified and then you can join us. Remember, next week we are beginning to have guests again. This week we were just warming up since we took a few days off. We produced Africa Day on May 25th. It was a lot of work in the weeks before Africa Day, and we were awake for about 24 hours during Africa Day because we had guest speakers from all over the world that were contributing to the entire event. We have started sharing content about it on YouTube, also on this YouTube channel, so you can catch some of the previous conversations for Africa Day there. Now I want to move on here from K to Bibi. Bibi, how are you doing? I want to pass you the mic in just a second. I want to, thank you, Digital Humanitarian, for being here. We'll just go through Bibi and Todd and William, and then Philip, if you can just think of how you want to close our session today with some comments and your perspectives, I would really love that. So, Kay, thank you for your contributions. Bibi, how are you, and where are you joining us from, and what does this proverb mean to you? No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Simon, for bringing me up here. I'm in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I'm good. Babies are good. Surprisingly, actually, yesterday I had really bad migraine, and I had to end up in the hospital because it was really bad, and it got really bad. I called my doctor, and she was like, "Girl, you need to go to the hospital, and you need to go to the ER and make sure they schedule a CAT scan for you, because I think I've never had migraines before, but it started because of the accident, and I guess this is one of the things that I'll have to deal with for now until they find a solution for it to be permanently gone." But that comes back to my what's the word? My term for the Proverbs, I guess. What happens in the dark will always come to light. And although the accident didn't happen in darkness, but it has always been hidden. Like, I've never experienced it, but now it's come to light that it's there. So, and just like the proverb says, no matter how fast you run, your shadow is part of you. It's part of who you are. And nowadays, sometimes I'm giving a second meaning, I suppose, with religion and everything else. It's like we use that to cover up, kind of like a mask. But when someone lights up a light, that shadow will come out. So I know we try to mask things up, but I suppose we can't outrun it, because no matter what, if a light lights up, even in the darkness, there is a light, that shadow will come up because it's a part of who you are, and we can't run away from that. And with that, I am complete.
Excellent. Thank you, Bibi. I appreciate your contribution as well. And, I agree. I agree that, something like an accident, it's like a scar. It's like someone said earlier that once a scar heals, I think the wound heals, but the scar stays, or something like that. And yeah, I don't know. It's incredible. You'll always remember that moment. You'll remember the lessons from it, and hopefully you can begin teaching people, how you healed from this entire thing, because the intricacies of your process is is quite inspiring, and I've had nuggets of it here and there, but you're definitely one of the people I would love to interview sometime in the near future for my podcast. So we should connect about that, Bibi. Now I want to move on to Thought, how are you doing today? Where are you joining us from? And what does this proverb from Cameroon mean to you?
Good morning, Simon. Good morning, everyone. I'm joining from California. So for me, the quote that says, no matter how fast a man, he can never outrun his shadow. A man who's trying to outrun his shadow, for me, it's basically a man who lacks self-discipline, who lacks self-love, who lacks self-belief. And what is the shadow in my own understanding of this quote? Your shadow is your reputation. Your shadow is your personality. Your shadow is your purpose in life. Your shadow is your goals. Your shadow is what you stand for. So as a person, why would you want to run away from your shadow? Because the shadow is part of you. You cannot disguise from it. You cannot hide from it. It follows you wherever you go. So it's important that as a person, you try to leave a reputable reputation where when people talk about you, they always know you for who you are, for what you stand for what you believe in. Even if your past reputation may have been tarnished, your past image may have been bad, your present can be better, and your reputation can always be repaired. So your shadow should be what you believe in. Your shadow is your reputation, and it should be what you stand for. And to me, that reputation should be consistent in all you do. It should be consistent because consistency is key. And when there are changes in your behavior, it always tends to make people lose trust and credibility in you. And that's my take on this. Thank you, Simon.
Yeah, that's incredible. Your shadow is your reputation, and it should stay consistent. You should stay consistent with it. I love that. I feel that your shadow could be how you find your balance and how you make sure you're staying consistent to who you are and what your vision is. Powerful. William, how are you today, my brother? And where are you joining us from? And also, what does this proverb from Cameroon mean to you? No matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow.
Hello, Simon. Hello, everyone. I'm doing well this morning. Joining you from northeast of Seattle in Kenmore, Washington. And I kind of agree with the other speakers have said so far. I think that, your shadow is a way that you can be identified, either by your culture or your religion, your faith, or your skin color. And I think, no matter how successful you get, there will always be ways that you can be identified. And I also think the shadow represents the circumstances around you. There will always be new challenges, new mountains to climb. So you can't outrun that shadow.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, and I feel that as you get, bigger challenges, the previous challenges that you went through inform how you respond to the challenges that you deal with, as a human being. So, I just appreciate that so much. I want to continue on here, and I want to invite my brother, digital humanitarian. How are you doing? And where are you joining us from today? And what does this proverb mean to you? Thank you so much. Okay, digital humanitarian. There you are, brother.
Hi, Simon. Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Good evening from Nairobi. Good to hear you, Simon, and congratulations on the Africa Day. The timings were crazy for me. It was ungodly hours for me when you guys were going live, but I'm looking forward to joining you in the daily African Proverbs. Today's proverb, no matter how fast a man is, he can't outrun his shadow. And to me here, the shadow is actually ourselves. It's our real self, as in we can't run away from who we are as a character. If you're the kind of person who portrays negative energy, that is who you are. As in, if you're the kind of person who portrays positivity, that's the kind of energy which will always carry around you. So for me here, the shadow is the kind of baggage we carry. So what kind of baggage are we carrying? As in, is it a positive baggage? Is it a negative baggage? Is it an emotional baggage? As in, to me, shadow here is very, very symbolic in terms of in our lives. As in, getting to know that no matter how good you are in anything, you remember the kind of energy you portray around people. People, in terms of your reputation, it will always be a subject where people will actually anchor on. So for me here, I look at it from a digital perspective, and you are what you post on digital. As in, anything you post on social media is your shadow. So, and Simon, I always look at your proverbs with an eye for the digital age, with an eye for the new generation. And it's like our forefathers always knew that one day we'll have a digital space where we are discussing virtually, and actually the digital space becomes like our diary. So when you look at it from a digital perspective, no matter who you are on the digital space, you may be a blogger or a content creator. What kind of positive vibes are you radiating on the digital space? As in, you are what you post. Anything you post today can actually be used against you 20 years to come, 1 year to come. So for me, it's just about life being positive and sharing positive vibration energy, and as in 24/7, knowing that anything you do right now will actually come and haunt you. That's how I interpret I mean today's proverb.
Wonderful. I love that. I love that, my brother, digital humanitarian. I want you to just go deeper with us if you have another minute. Congratulations again for being, elected as Raila Amolo Odinga's presidential campaign, social media, director, manager. You're playing a big role, and I feel that it's exactly what you're saying. What you post on social media is who you are. What you do, how you tell your story is who you become. And I feel that the job you just earned is a perfect example of what this proverb says and exactly what you said. Can you just share with us a little bit of what this opportunity means to you, and also just the sweat that you've had to put in terms of building up your story to a point where you can be trusted with a job like this?
First of all, thanks, Simon. I'm not allowed to speak officially on the campaign. I'm not the campaign spokesman, but yes, I was bestowed as the head of digital for the presidential candidate Raila Amolo Odinga. So I'm leading the team on digital, and it's, to me, it's again, when you look at it from the Proverbs perspective, it's about my digital shadow. As in, I wouldn't be here without my digital shadow, and I'm someone who I've built my brand around the digital space, where my profile is actually precedes me. So I think, to answer your question, yes, it's been hard work for me to reach where I am, and I just want to encourage probably the young content creators out there. Social media is a very great tool which can actually open so many doors for you and bring in networks around you. And handling a presidential campaign on digital is something which it's challenging, but it's also very inspiring. And I'm looking to see how we can tell stories differently using the digital space, and just bring in change in terms of storytelling, in terms of creating an enabling environment for the youth. And so I can't talk much about the campaign because I'm not the campaign spokesman. I'm just a behind the scenes person helping in terms of the digital communications of the presidential campaign.
Thank you. You're not just the behind the scene person, but you're playing an incredible role. So I really hope that you're proud of yourself, my friend, and I am proud of you. Keep up the good work. Now I want to continue on to brother. Brother, how are you? Where are you joining us from? And, what does today's proverb mean to you? This proverb from Cameroon: no matter how fast a man is, he cannot outrun his shadow. Thank you so much.
Peace and love, Brother Simon. Honors to you and all the family. Always spreading the wisdom of the ancestors. And I got in kind of late because it's been kind of hectic on the job this morning. And I appreciate you for still bringing me to the stage. And with that being said, this proverb means a lot to me. Being that I'm a Muslim and today is my holy day, we have a few teachings. And one of the first teachings said there's only two things in the world, and that's truth and falsehood. And what is man? Man is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. And understanding that, man has two selves, the higher self and the lower self. The lower self is the shadow that you're speaking of, right? As we understand our divinity or learn how to become that internal light within, we have the power to tame the shadow. And the only place that the shadow will be is under our feet. But again, that's learning how to operate in the higher self. But again, with any decision you make, any move you make, it's always still an opportunity for that shadow to sneak in and throw you off your square, so to speak. So you always have to be mindful of the shadow of the lower self, because it's always right there seeking to take the lead. And this is the last quick point I'm gonna make is, if you really think about it, a superhero and a villain is pretty much the same thing. In a lot of cases, both of them have a power, but the hero uses their power and is fed by the light, while the villain uses their power and they are guided by the shadow or the darkness. And I come in love and leave in pieces, brother.
Wonderful, wonderful, my brother. Thank you again for your contribution today. And thank you to everyone who is on stage with us right now. We had over 65 people that joined us on Clubhouse for this conversation. I'm not sure how many people joined us on YouTube, but we had quite a few people who joined us as well. I just want you all to know that I am extremely grateful. And, the African Father in America club or podcast cannot exist without this support. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so and share it with other people. If there is value that you received from our time together today, that's one way you can support. And also, today I was doing something extra. I created a Twitter thread, and I want you to go ahead and share it. Go to Twitter. The pinned post has that thread, and leave your comment there as well, But if you love Instagram, this post is my latest Instagram post as well. And I will go back there and respond to all the comments there as well. With that, we've come to the tail end of our time together today. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be in the Africa Day Club. We will be doing a recap of how Africa Day was and just sharing ideas about next year's Africa Day, but also just, listening to feedback, from everyone that was involved, and then growing from there. So if you have time, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, join us in the Africa Day Club just to do a post-mortem of what Africa Day, that we held on May 25th was like. And then from Monday to Friday next week, we are back again here for the Daily African Proverbs, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. What time is that, Stella, in Nairobi? Is that 4 p.m.? 4 p.m. in Nairobi, right? Yeah, that's 4 p.m. in Nairobi.
Yes, Simon, it's 4 p.m.
Perfect. So thank you again, and have a beautiful weekend. Peace and love.
African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.